Hi, hello everyone, welcome back to That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer, and our gay sound presented by Jesse today is... that was the pre-evolution to...
It's that in a minor key.
in like a different font.
Yeah.
That one was Arial.
It's the interlude before that track.
Yes!
In the full album, yeah, for sure.
The like 12-second build up to it.
The Pamara 12-second.
Oh my god, all Pamaras, Global All-Stars, all Pamaras.
I'm going to try and play a minigame where anytime there's a numerical order, I try and Pamara it.
Yes.
Like she got Pamara 8th place, you know? You know what I mean? Let's see if I can hold up to that.
I think it really is a travesty that she didn't make it to top 5, so she really could have been Pamara 5th. Like, that really is disappointing.
Down Under versus the World.
Okay, then she goes home 5th. Then she solidifies it and breaks the timeline. Then Pamara 6th is born, released from the lab in which they've been curated from, like Stitch.
You drop it in water and it activates.
Experiment Pamara 5th. Release the beast.
It looks like... No, okay, I'm just stop.
We're going on too many tangents already. We are finishing up our conversation and recaps about Down Under 2. These are the last 4 episodes. Last week, we had a lot to talk about. We talked about the first design challenge, that terrible prison acting challenge that we glazed over, drag brunches, and the snatch game. I was saying before we started recording, what's interesting about this season for me is that it kind of like starts off a little rocky and then it progressively gets better. This second half has been so much more enjoyable that it's almost like a opposite of Holland 2, where Holland 2 started out so good and strong. And then second half, I'm like, is this almost over? Like, it's got to be done soon, right? But then
Right.
Down Under has been like completely opposite.
It just like... And it's rare with the season in general that it's a grower.
Mm-hmm.
Usually there's just a late season fatigue, but this just
Yeah.
somehow magically just gets better.
There's a late season fatigue and someone's got to talk about how they got fucked in the butt by a ghost. You know?
Yeah, you know that thing.
You know that spectral thing. You know when your booty hole quivers in the middle of the night and then you Google that people get fucked by ghosts? You know that thing. That super relatable thing.
That you talk about around the 7th or 8th week in the competition to lighten the room.
Just bring the mood up a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people like Jinx Monsoon horf peanut butter sandwiches by episode 8. And some people reveal that they've gotten fucked in the butt by a ghost. You know?
To each their own.
We all hit the fatigue in different ways, you know? We are talking about episode 5 to start us out. Bosom Buddies, Partners in Crime. I actually really liked this.
It's pretty cute.
Why does Down Under have banger girl group numbers?
I wonder if it's a different team who writes them.
Oh, maybe. It's like the same level as UK. Like season 1 and 2 of UK girl groups were so good. And then I feel like Queen's Down Under was so good. Bosom Buddies was so good. Better than the finale, in my opinion. You know?
No, yeah. The finale was interesting.
It was. Minnie's message leaving the workroom is, thank you, Spanky, Kong, and Yuri for being so nice. Damn.
And then Spanky like dying in the confessional, trying not to laugh with
Took screenshots.
her and Queen
just cackling.
next to each other, holding back. I loved it. And Molly and Hannah like, oh, okay, damn.
And Bev being like, well, I didn't like her anyway.
So funny.
Minnie is rotten to her core. Like, that is one of those pretty apples that is just, like, rotten inside.
And I feel like her energy permeated this episode. Like, she left something in the room because I feel like they're activated after this. They come back activated, and the activation just, like, lingers.
Totally. It's like a fart that doesn't leave the room.
She said, all you unkind bitches, duke it out.
Oh, and the rest of you kept fucked. This episode is really heavy-handed for Bev because she's like getting that I need this edit. I really need this job. Like she's got to get that win.
Well, okay, she comes in, monologue. Monologue to the table, and after all of that, she's like, I may not have won any challenges yet, but I've won 2 lip syncs. And then Yuri, of all people, I mean, you've been in the bottom the most, so it is what it is.
God, I love Yuri so much.
She's incredible.
Yuri.
So unbothered.
An entity like no one else. No wonder the Boulets were like, we need her on our show. We gotta get her over here.
She's so funny. She had them all gagged.
Oh, yeah.
She had the whole room gagged with that.
She had me gagged. The library is open this week, and your favorite pit crew member got to be here, the old bald dude with the big booty.
Yes.
He got to be here. He was delightful.
Nice.
This was like maybe the worst reading challenge ever. I wrote in my notes, baby, open the schools. Literacy is down.
Yeah, Queen Kong agreed with you. She was like, what? I fear for the children. What is happening?
Yeah.
It wasn't funny, but do you know one of the only ones I honestly remember, and I laughed at it, but because it just was silly to me.
Tell me.
Freaking Molly Poppins talking about spanking. She's like, what can I say? I love you, man. Like, it's
so stupid.
It's so stupid and like
it's so dumb.
It felt like your like 3-year-old like nephew like telling you a joke and you're like, oh, that was good.
Very that. Oh yeah, it was awful. This was a really terrible reading challenge. Queen is the winner, but like, is it really a win if everyone was bad and you just were less bad?
I don't think Queen felt like a winner because she had to have Beverly flirt with her right after they fought.
Oh my god, that was so uncomfortable.
It's like her. It's so funny because her flirting aggressively with her in the reading challenge is like sandwiched between them fighting. Because it's like they fight before that, they fight after that multiple times. So it's like in the middle of all of that. And I guess them knowing each other outside of this is a weird thing of, hey, I want you to fuck me. And double downing with the like eyebrows up like while she's doing it. I was like, I hate this.
The sexual harassment of Down Under 2. Crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. Rue announces that the Maxi is going to be a reading, dancing, and shady girl group challenge. What did you think about that prompt? Because, like, we kind of had for UK1, Break Up Bye Bye is about, like, the group is ending, so tell each other off for one last time right before you all leave. But this was more just like, we're in the heat of a girl group, and we don't really like each other, but we're going to make it work somehow.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, the chorus itself didn't give that because the chorus was like, I'm your number one fan. So it sounds like I'm going to, like, praise you. But it's, like, actually JK. I wish it had been a little more tongue-in-cheek. Mm-hmm. But also it was weird because, like, the second group didn't even do that.
No.
So I was like, did we even do that?
Did we do the challenge?
The person who won the challenge didn't do that either.
Right.
Clock that tea.
Clock all of that tea. Bev, like you said, is trying it really hard with Queen. And, like, I don't really understand trying to, like, go up against a legend.
I mean, I would just be terrified from everything I've seen so far. It's like, everyone seems to like her in the room and, like, on the panel.
Right.
Yeah, she seems to be a legend. Like, even if you didn't know who she was, and she seems to know her. Mm-hmm. Furthermore, so she knows her impact. But it's like, even if you went into it blind, I'd be terrified because it's like, seems like everyone likes her. So there's got to be a reason why.
Yeah.
Even if you don't see it. And, like, she's doing well. And, like, we're in a challenge that I would think like, oh, she's about to probably do really good this week too.
Right.
I don't really want to like be fucking with her.
Totally.
Like this is a challenge that she's probably about to like chew it up on.
Yeah.
But even just all that, like, she also just seems very like composed and like very like, she gives me like dance choreographer where it's like she's gonna like tell you everything like pretty fast and to the point and like no room for BS kind of vibes.
Totally.
But like in a maternal way, we see
adulty.
that word get thrown around.
Oh my God. You know what? That whole moment reminded me of, like, not to bring up Redacted Noodles, but it reminded me of Redacted Noodles, knowing that Jeremy had problems
Love
with
that
family.
drag name. Redacted Noodles.
Knowing that Jeremy was having problems with family already, and then to be like, she just doesn't have good family values. With Bev knowing that Queen does not have a great relationship with their family and how their chosen family is so important to them, to be like, you're not being the maternal queen that I know you to be. It was like it was a really below the belt, out of pocket stab.
Yeah.
It was like a malicious gay goat tree that I was not here for.
Cigarette ram.
Cigarette goat bush.
Cigarette ram foliage.
Yes! That's my new drag name.
I think.
But it's only
also,
emojis.
I mean, my perception of it too is I could imagine Beverly is trying to also give TV in the moment drama. Also, 21. I keep forgetting because sometimes she like carries herself like she's a little tiny bit older, at least like mid-20s.
Yeah.
But no, she's infant. So I don't know if she truly understands, one, how she's going to cross, two, maybe the emotional implications of everything she's saying. But I feel like in the moment she's trying to give like TV fight.
Do you feel like it was manufactured?
Well, okay, no. What I think is for her, maybe it didn't feel so real because it's what she's feeling in that time, in that moment. But then like it's very in the moment, but then to Queen it felt like it had deeper implications. Like, to give Beverly credit, but I also don't actually know. But it felt like she like had it within the scope of this thing, and then the other person had it in the scope of that thing.
I get that.
But also not really like providing like clarity or comfort to that can very much make it worse.
I hear that. So it was almost like a Crystal Versace, like saying something about Victoria and then like not realizing, oh, this has deeper impact. I wasn't thinking about it in that way. I'll have to be careful next time.
Yeah.
Like that kind of just young Queen saying stuff kind of a way.
That I'd like to imagine, just because I would be more scared of the idea that a 21-year-old would know how to weaponize things like the word maternal in that way with that person. Like,
that's fair.
I would rather be quicker to assume like, maybe they don't understand, like, one, in the hope of like, we're on TV, let's wake it up. Like, let's.
Minnie's gone, so someone's got to be mean around here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is her dark-sided energy was still here. No, this is what happened. Is Beverly said Minnie thought I wasn't kind. I'll show her. Said
I'm gonna wear a big old B on my shirt.
They need the bad guy. They need somebody to be the bad guy.
I'll be the bad guy. We get to the runway, and for anyone that is on TikTok and knows the reference I'm about to share, RuPauli Chatterjee is here on the runway, and she's got her bindi. She is feeling global. She is feeling international. Anyone who knows exactly who I'm talking about.
If you made that smoother, it would look like an AI image.
One of those like YouTube thumbnail recommendations. I get them all the time that look just like this.
Queen was having, directly after what we just talked about, Queen was having a really hard time because that conversation really affected her. And she had to pull it together for the challenge. And she came out and she saw that.
She did.
She stared right in RuPaul's third eye. in her third diamond eye.
In her Ellie diamond eye.
And yeah, she somehow still was able to hold it together. That's a true professional.
We have the Babs group, the broke ass bitches, who all make it to the finale.
Wow. And like, yeah, wow.
We never get a full girl group. I think the closest we got was United King Dolls. But even then, we're missing a horror. So
Tragic.
Like, we don't get full girl groups going all the way. So it was like so interesting that all the finalists were in this one.
Well, and the difference in quality showed that the proof was in the pudding.
Totally. Because, like, group one was so much stronger. And, like, I don't remember all the lyrics that they wrote. I just remember, like, Hannah looked great. Spanky looked insane. Why does
Spanky looked crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
It's giving me so many things. It's giving me, like, Lady Gaga in this Mayhem era. But, like...
The rhinestone bodysuit is so nuts.
Bodysuit. I love the wiki picture.
Oh,
like
the
it
wiki
really
picture's
shows the
crazy.
full body is, I think, really what you need.
The full body of it all. The choker is nuts.
It's the way that like these boots look like a weird like Mary Jane with a glitter stocking. Like they don't look like they're actually boots. It looks like she's got on like her good old Mary Jane shoes and.
That's my new drag name, Mary Jane Shoe.
And you only do Mary Jane shoes by Fergie.
Oh my god. Like, what number will she do tonight? Just that one again.
The Thundercat remix. Thunderpuss? Thunderville? Thunderzilla? Anyways.
Thunder Thighs. I didn't really care too much for either group's lyrics. I did think it was interesting to put a girl group challenge so close to the finale where they were going to sing again. What I do remember was Molly giving like Love Shack, where she was like, "Girl, you're giving me an eyesore." I literally was like, are we about to start Love Shack?
Honestly, I feel like the verses for everyone were like whatever. So
Yeah.
I more so saw it as like a difference in quality and like performance and choreo.
Yeah.
First group choreo was crazy good. I think Queen led the choreo, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like actually creating it.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell.
She really turned it out. Okay, because also, let's give Queen her flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Because girlies come on Drag Race and they're like, I'm a choreographer.
Right.
And then it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, high kick, death drop.
Exhausted
She
Waitress.
did comedic beats and moments in choreography and then actual like slay moments in the choreography. Like she choreographed the song they were doing. She
Yes.
didn't just do drag queen like at the club choreo. Like,
Right.
I really respected that.
Me
She
as well.
like had like very comedic beats. She was really doing it in the face as well.
Mm-hmm.
Great facial performer. But I was like, damn, like this is what it actually like shows like when you're a choreographer.
That's Mother.
Because it's not just like, you know, regular 8 count shit. Like,
And her story counterpart this week, Bev, is not able to do that at all. She was like really inflexible with the movements, and even like Yuri and Molly going, we can't really do this. We're not picking this up. And she said, oh, hold on.
I thought that was very interesting. She like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I sympathize because sometimes I can be that way, and I even used to be that way more.
Mm-hmm.
It is an incredibly powerful skill to be able to workshop things in the moment
Right.
live. And I think that she just like, it might also, I wonder if she seems to be, to me, the most Drag Race camera aware of it, which is kind of what I was alluding to with her fight with Queen. Is like, I don't think she would, well, I don't know her, but I don't know if that fight would have happened in the same environment. But the fact that it was Drag Race and they're at the table, you know?
Right.
So like her choreographing, I wonder, is there also the pressure of like being on camera while trying to choreograph, handle feedback, figure out what to do? So it's like maybe she also doesn't feel comfortable workshopping if she's not in full control of everything, you know,
I
like
could see
narrative wise. I don't know, but I just wonder, like, because something like that is tricky because you have to accommodate and move and figure things out in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that you're doing a lot of just like spitballing whatever, and that makes you very vulnerable on camera.
Totally.
And
nobody wants the clown music.
But speaking of clown music, my favorite was the beats of Yuri just trying to like figure out what to do, and she's just like shorts like rolled up, like in her little shirt, just like do like doing this little like NPC dance. Like I was obsessed, unbothered.
Totally.
Molly seeming like a little worried, like I can't do that. And he's like, no, we'll just do like da 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 da. I feel like I feel like her like confidence was stressing Beverly out.
Why are you confident right now?
Like,
you're doing
like,
nothing.
is it worse to have two bad dancers who aren't confident, or a bad dancer who's confident in their choreo they're presenting and their opinions and ideas?
Honestly, I'd rather have someone who's a bad dancer who's confident while doing it, because like even if they flub everything, they'll look so joyous doing it that you can't forgive it. You're like, you were awful, but I loved you.
Drag is joy.
Yeah. That's so House of
Yay.
Love. Our runway category this week is what?
My brain is rotted. You said House of Love, and I was like, that show with Flavor of Love in New York? Like, what? I forgot that was the cocktails. I was like, what does that have to do with Bye Pumpkin? Like, what is happening? I'm sorry. Continue.
Bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkin. Hello. Good morning. Not you. You can choke. Good morning. Our runway category is belts, buckles, and chains. I feel weird about this one.
Okay. Let's
runway about accessories.
Yes. Can I say something right away?
Yes, please.
Belts, buckles, and chains.
And
not belts or belts with buckles or chains. Not that.
All three.
Not belts or buckles or chains.
Mama, all of them.
I wanted like crazy for accessories. I wanted accessories down.
Yeah. That would be cool. Crazy for accessories would be great.
Honestly, like Beverly kind of was like getting there, but it was a little too like Laganja, Stranja, tangled nails, lizard, black and white lizard woman.
Come on, trees.
It was actually
Come
very
on,
that to me.
nails.
Sorry.
Come on, denim.
So who was your favorite?
I'm guessing Bev was your favorite.
That's tricky.
I think honestly, if
Mom.
I'm gonna say it, I would say Queen. I love the colors of
Okay.
this.
I was gonna say Queen just looks really good this week, even though I feel like it was just belts.
Yeah.
Belts that okay, well, it wasn't even a belt. It's a strip of fabric with a rectangle to give buckle.
Right.
So, okay, no.
And there's things dangling off of it.
She had the chains on her eyes.
And she has a chain necklace.
She's giving buckles.
She's
like,
giving belts.
If it's like a checklist, it's like belts, buckles, ding, chains, That's like my brain. Because it's not a belt. It's a strip of fabric with a rectangle to give buckle.
Yeah.
So then she's giving buckle. But all that being said, it's so good.
It's so good. She was inspired by Mean Girls with it. And I think you can really see that moment where Katie's like turning from her like prissy mean girl character into like the mean one of the group.
Yeah.
You can really see all that like transforming there. I love Hannah too.
Oh yeah.
It's not
belts
at all. It's chains. It's 100% chains.
Hanaconda?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like it. It's so chic and it's different for her. Chic. chic. It's like slutty Amy Winehouse almost. Like S&M Amy Winehouse.
Oh my god.
No. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Wait. Yes.
Yes.
Hetty Potter.
I really like it. I don't know. The colors are nice. This midnight denim color. Ooh, it's hot. She looks good. She looks real good. I see the Laganja-ness of what Bev's wearing now that I scroll by it again.
Especially like when I'm talking about with like the black and white look, how like there's that element of like the tangledness of the long chains. I don't love that with this. I wish the chains were denser. So it didn't feel like a lot of small chains almost like spider webbing together.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of it. I think for me, I agree that Queen Kong's is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Also love the body. Her hip ratio is so perfect.
It's luxe.
She gives just the right amount of hip to counteract. It's like the same width as her shoulder. So it gives that perfect doot.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that skirt length is juicy. I know for a fact that you are in love with Spanky's look.
Come on.
I know you're in love.
Listen, when Father hits, he hits out of the park. Father Spanky, this is like the triumph of his awfulness, you know? This and the red dress. I feel like these are like the triumphs of his terribleness because like that
Put that on a t-shirt.
she has some like really fun, like great looks.
Yeah, we love fun.
Yeah, even next week I actually really like her look.
Sure.
But this one, it's so old season Drag Race to me as well, like early season Drag Race, which I love.
Yeah. The stretched out latex underneath the breastplate, though, is nuts. I cannot get over.
It's giving
the
if
bib.
they had the... What was the... I don't remember the exact name of the runway where they're all in lingerie on season 9.
Oh,
But-
Naughty Nightwear.
Naughty Nightwear, but if they did that on season 2.
Oh.
If they did Naughty Nightwear after the Star Booty Challenge.
Could you imagine Nicole Page Brooks in Naughty Nightwear?
Naughty Nightwear Paige Brooks.
That's my new drag name. I've like gone through 4 already this episode. I really liked the idea of what Yuri did with that snake. I did not connect with what that had to do with belts, buckles, and chains. It was like, oh my god, it was like charity.
Who'd you say?
Yuri?
I don't know why. I thought you said Minnie.
Yeah, Minnie
like,
Cooper.
Cooper?
Minnie Cooper made an appearance. Did you not see her?
Yuri was giving me like Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Totally.
In Jules.
Totally. I mean, I like it a lot for a different runway, but it was like, where did the connection happen?
I didn't know that it was pants.
That's
I
fair.
wish it was like a slick little like bodyconish dress, like freaking Scarlet Envy's Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. I did like the snake fangs, though. Those were fun.
Yeah, that was a cute touch.
Our winners are Queen, Spanky, and Hannah this week, which I think was very well deserved. They win a bunch of tights. And Spanky says, thanks, I needed that. And Rue says, yeah, you really did.
My bare-legged diva.
Father, you need these tights.
Bare-legged on the runway. She is the body girl. I love that she's the body girl of the season. She's the Carmen Carrera. She's also the Nicole Page Brooks. She's the penetration. She is the she's everything.
Oh, the Carmen Carrera is crazy. Our bottom 2 is Yuri and Molly, which I think makes sense. They were the objective worst. And they have to lip sync to Chains S&M remix.
I don't think I mentioned Beverly was fighting for her life in that challenge with them. I feel
Totally.
like she was turned up to an 11. She was like, I know we're the losing group. I'm going to give it down and just make sure that I leave these two in the dust. Also, the way that they all were completely. I mean, they did in the first group too.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one, she was just dressed like a crash test dummy.
I didn't understand
The
that at
yellow,
all.
the highlighter yellow outfit with the exclamation points, if that doesn't say hi, look at me while I'm doing splits and like the highest energy of the three. Anyways,
I moved on quick from that group because I was just like very unbothered by them as a group. But you're right. I mean, it really was. Look at me, don't look at them.
yeah. But you know, if it was Drag Race Down Under season 1, she would have been in the bottom because of freaking what happened to Electra Fence. No, Electra.
Electroshock. Electrofence.
Wrong
Electrovire.
season. Electroshock. Electrovire. Is that the Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to Electroshock? Because they told her that she was trying to outshine them. So interesting.
I think they were ready for Yuri to go in some
Tragic.
way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they felt like, okay, we need to like really whittle it down and like, especially to be fair, knowing the next challenge, I think Yuri would have struggled.
Totally.
She could have either been a wild card, like knock it out of the park, lightning in a bottle, or it would have likely been rough.
Yeah.
Shady music while she's with Michelle, you know.
I would have sent all three of them to the bottom and made them all lip sync, honestly. Been like, you coordinated this and didn't help, and the two of you were awful. So, and then
Send them all home.
also Molly, you were that. So
Yeah,
that's why you're lip syncing.
You all deserve to be punished.
Every one of you were in the
You'll
bottom.
all be punished.
They both really, I think, really turned it out, and I think this was like a kind of producer moment, and I've talked about this before when two people are in the bottom and they both do really good in the lip sync.
Yeah.
You have to like pick whoever's got maybe potentially more story. And I feel like Yuri gives less than what Molly does. And so the one to bring in and keep would be Molly. Because like, what is Yuri going to do next week? Very likely the same thing she's been doing, which is a lot of come. And that's great, but that's it. So I feel like that was maybe the deciding factor.
Fair.
You know? I will say, though, Michelle seemed very Team Yuri.
She was, I mean, even the room was very Team Yuri. They were all devoed.
Yeah. The band that did do.
Stop.
So she, on her way out, says, live fast, eat ass. And I think Rue said, ooh, I like that.
Yeah. She said, wait a minute.
Wait, now hold on.
Now
We
this
eating
girl's
ass
got her
over
head
here?
on straight.
Glad she finally woke up. And we move into episode 6, Hometown Honeys. This was an odd one, in my opinion. It was a really odd one.
It was a fever dream of a challenge.
Yeah. I do really appreciate how kind of broken up about Yuri's elimination they all were. They seemed genuinely
especially Spanky.
She was
Well, you know, they were the winning duo.
Oh, that's right.
And they had a really good rapport.
Mm-hmm.
There's even the read about Yuri like riding Spanky's oversized coattails.
Oversized evil.
But I think they had a good bond, and I also think that like it was cute how much like Spanky respected her drag and recognized like her as an outsider.
Yeah.
And like the importance of alternative drag and like what she even said to the group of like, yeah, just like the importance of recognizing other styles and like. I thought it was very sweet.
It was. And alt drag really is not given space in a lot of corners of the world. And for Spanky to really advocate for Yuri, I thought was super sweet.
Yeah.
They jump into this challenge fast. They've got to make some travel videos based on their hometowns. I almost feel like WoW got some stipend from like hotels.com or something right as soon as the pandemic lockdown was ending for most of the world. And they were like, we need you to get tourism up. In España, get them to make videos about going to Spain. In Down Under, get them to do it there. I don't remember if they do anything for UK in 4.
I can't remember either, but I didn't clock that, the trend.
Yeah.
The pro
trend alert.
tourism trend. That's
Yeah.
hotels.com.
Ding.
That's
Trivago.
true. That's also so funny, like coming post-COVID.
Yeah.
Because they were even deeper in COVID when they filmed this.
Totally. So it would have been airing right as most of the world would have started opening up. And so it would have been like, hey, do you want to come on down here now that we're not sick with COVID?
Yeah, now that we're not sickies.
They are marketing, basically. And it's kind of quasi-branding.
It's an interesting, because it's supposed to be like a short travel video. But it's kind of like Queen of Your Hometown if it was a challenge instead of a runway. But also like branding, like you said. It's like branding through it's locational branding, hometown branding.
Mm-hmm.
But also like funny tourism video.
It's a lot of concepts. And I don't know what you should focus on if you want the attention.
Well, and also like there are different directions because some go more like real with it. Like, what do I love about this place? Other people kind of make it their own place.
And some people were Hanaconda. That was actually insane, and we'll get to it. There is a pretty big storyline, once again, between Bev and Queen. Their storyline is
continues.
Still not over. Both of them get very heavy edits. And this was like one of those moments, those satisfying moments where there are two contestants who just have this beef with each other that builds and builds and then finally it gets resolved, because at the end of this, they do resolve it. It's the thing I'm literally always complaining about, the Ellie Lawrence thing that had been bubbling since literally like episode 3. And they did nothing with it. They got to that roast and then did nothing with that tension, and then it just goes away. So like this was very satisfying to me as someone who likes when producers just like let story moments play out, and when they lean in on them. I appreciate those moments. Because Queen is getting a lot of like mental health topics, isn't really diving in super deep, but is talking about it. Hannah reveals a little more about herself. And then Bev has all this tension with Rue when Rue is like, oh yeah, your hometown. That's in Muriel's wedding, right? And she's like, I've never seen it. And the girls are like so gagged. If Rue is volleying with you about something, even if you've never seen it, you just volley back and be like,
just yes and.
Yes, Muriel's
Crystal
wedding.
Method is the perfect example of that. She never, she didn't know who those people were.
She had no idea who El DeBarge was.
And you know that she every time was like, yes, yeah,
Love
that's
that,
me.
Rue. Tell me more about that. Oh my God, what's your favorite El DeBarge song? Rhythm of the Night? Love that. Love that song. I'm going to listen to it tonight since I've never heard it. That gets Rue going. And Bev just immediately shutting her down in that like sharp way. I think you might have been onto something earlier when you said that she might not quite understand the impact of her words. Because I think even in that moment, Hannah and Spanky are in the background gagging that she just was like, I don't know what that is. So just intensely.
Yeah.
I think you might be onto something with that. I did wonder in this moment if Rue was like, because she looked at her with this blank face like, oh, I got to rethink everything now. Like that producer in her ear was like, no, we can't bring Yuri back. Please just be nice to her. Imagine it's Georges, Rue. Imagine it's Georges.
I was just imagining everyone like crowd around. He's like, don't slap her. Don't slap her. Don't slap her. You can't do that. The cameras are on. Don't slap her.
Wait till the cameras are off. We got to get the NDAs out. There is a story moment that happens here. Bev asks the girls what her problem is, like with her walls up. And Queen and Hannah are like, you just kind of come off fake. And she's like, what do you mean? That's not what I wanted. And Spanky like pulls her aside and is like, yeah, babes, you just come off a little canned, but it's okay. You'll get there. You don't have to worry about being your authentic self now. And like basically tells her the same thing, but just nice.
Yeah.
And Bev is like, I just don't know what you wanted.
Mother mentor.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because Beverly kind of that was part of her initial clock to Queen, is that like she seems to be operating differently for the cameras or in the sake of the competition. At least I think that's what I was kind of getting from her argument, but the way she went about it and saying she's not maternal, like I think is where the problem lies.
Totally.
But yeah, I think that's an interesting point because it's very much her problem is what she was calling out. Her is like, you're kind of acting different than how you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you to be the you that I know you to be.
Mm-hmm. When she was asking everyone like why they think she has a problem, and when they said that she was acting fake, I was just waiting for that bitch to be like, well, Hannah, you're out here farting all the time, so I have to pretend.
And I have to sit here and look pretty.
So of course I'm cutting off fake. So I have to smell your farts all day. I was just waiting for it. I'm like, come on. When are we getting another Jiriji moment? I need another one.
Give me a Jiriji, please.
I'm craving another Jiriji moment so hard. We'll talk about the runway really quick. It's a kind of a lousy one. We've got swimsuit edition, which I wrote, huh.
Yeah.
Did you have any standouts?
Honestly, Spanky Jackson.
This crazy Pamela Anderson porno. Have you seen, and I don't know if you have it, like, it'd show up on old Tumblr all the time and every once in a while on Twitter, because I know you were on there for a bit. It's the intro to this straight porn, and there's this dude in a bathtub, and he's like just chilling, and it only shows his like waist up, and this like slutty girl and with huge boobs and like a tight red bikini comes running in, and she like blows a whistle, and she's like, "There's a shark in the water."
Oh my god!
And he like looks around. He's like, "I'm in a bathtub." And she's like, "Oh, there's a shark. You have to get out." And it's just that like section always floated around.
Incredible.
It's so crazy. That was this.
No,
I'm having a Ross Matthews moment.
With the messy hair and like from far away, it's giving so like, yeah,
Really
I'd
far.
fuck her.
Yeah. Really far away.
No, because it's giving like what like a man's perception of a woman is who's never been like physically intimate with a woman. Because like I love it. That's what drag is. It's women for people who don't touch women. Don't keep that. No. Take that out. No. But like, you know what I mean? It's so gay perception of a woman, and I love that. Just like the messy just got fucked hair. The little swimsuit with the jacket. And then like,
you asked me to be glamorous, and I gave you big blonde hair. That's what this is.
But that sunglass, you know, she felt so puss.
Oh, she did.
I love it. I also liked Hannah's.
I love the 8 rhinestones on Spanky's bodysuit. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's
5,
like
6,
she like
8.
sprayed it with hairspray and then had a handful of diamonds and just tossed it. Saw where it landed.
It's really nuts. I do like Hannah's a lot too. I love the like Barbarella-ness of it all.
Yeah.
And it's really chic in its like blue hydrangea effect as well. Is this Blue's bodysuit?
Bodysuit.
No.
Is it?
No, it looks so much like that Smurf thing. Does it not? It's not. It can't be the same thing. There's no way.
I feel like Blue's taller.
Yeah, sure.
It would be like a capri on her.
I just remember Blue had like nudity on that in the same kind of.
Oh, I know what you
color
mean. Yeah.
For Versus the World.
Okay, I will say to that point, I would have loved if she like had painted her face blue.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of funny that just like cut off, but I still enjoyed the like whimsy space of it all.
The makeup was everything, and I love those giant hoops. Those big ass C-shaped hoops.
Yeah, the giant
hot.
that like matched the sunglasses.
Yeah, that was everything.
Very fun.
I love the Alyssa Edwards-ness of what Bev was doing.
Girl, okay, well it's crazy that there was like double meter maids.
Right.
But hers was definitely drag mama.
Oh yeah, that was drag.
The hair was crazy. I love big hair, small hat.
Hats on wigs.
Hats on wigs.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's a cultural thing that I'm missing out on. Meter maids are the girlies who like or the people that drive around in those little cars and like collect money from the parking lots, right? Like you park here, you put your coin in, and you're parked for 2 hours, but you have to go back and put in another couple quarters, and then you can park another hour. And if you don't, they give you a ticket. I thought that's what a meter maid is.
Well, that's like a parking attendant, or there's a word for it, a meter attendant.
Meter attendant.
But then there's like meter maids, which I think is maybe it's an Australia thing, but it's literally I don't know if they're the ones giving you tickets or if they're the ones like giving you
interesting
quarters so that you don't get a ticket.
One of our Aussie audience members will answer this in like 5 weeks, and then I'll come and report back to you.
In 2027 when this airs.
We're recording this in 2013.
Yes.
You're only 16 years old.
I'm going back to my roots.
Yeah, that was interesting that there were 2 meter maids, because they usually screen these things and make sure that they don't bring duplicates. Or at least that's what we've been led to believe, unless they wanted to be messy.
Well, and it's funny because like if they did it on purpose because they wanted to make Beverly look bad, I liked hers more than
totally. It was way better
especially
than mine's.
For Molly, because it's like I feel like Molly could have done something stronger.
Yeah, this was very low key, but I mean, she's never gonna beat yassified Tabitha. She is never gonna beat the allegations.
You need to stop, because every time she is in natural hair, I'm like, I can't. I need her to only be in pink and blue and red and like neon wigs. Like, please.
So do you want to talk about these commercials really quick?
Let's get into it.
We'll breeze through them. Queens was about Queen Kong Island. It was very depreciating, which made me feel kind of sad.
Yeah, I could imagine the mental toll is mental tolling.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, she still was funny with it, but also it's confusing because it's like she picked a real place initially, but then it like is presented it as not a real place.
Springboards to something else.
Yeah, but I see what you mean, where it's like it could have been a little more like self-praising.
Yeah, totally. It was a little sad. I did appreciate how perceptive Rue was in talking about her parental concerns and like, you don't need your father. You are your own daddy. Like, I appreciated that because Rue normally is very like hands off. And we saw, I think it was last week when Bev was breaking down, 2 weeks ago when Bev was breaking down about not really connecting. And Rue was like, yeah, kiddo, that's life.
Yeah, that's hard.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Where here, Rue is very clearly present, plugged in with Queen and what she was experiencing and trying to help her work through that. I think she sees a lot of herself in Queen in this exact moment. And so I appreciated that oddly comforting side of Rue that we normally don't get to see.
Yeah.
It's very absent. Spanky is all over the place. Do you know what she was doing?
Spanky?
All I saw was this black bra. And I just stared at that black bra. And then I like came out of my fugue state and I saw a sheep. And then I zoomed back in on that bra and I'm like, what is this? What was any of that?
She said, all right, boys, want to go back to my place? And then they ride a sheep. She barks at them for some chips. And then, okay, my favorite is when she passes out. Like, they're, like, standing, holding her. She's like, ugh. And she, like, slips out of their hands. Like, it's so crazy. And then she wakes up. She's like, where am I? And then delivers the call to action. The always incredible. It's always balmy and balmy. Fuck yeah.
She's a lunatic.
It was so unhinged. I loved it. It was so crazy.
It really was. It was diabolical in its own way. Molly, I think, was really funny at the beginning where she was like, "Welcome to the town where I currently am." I thought that was a funny way of introducing I'm in front of a green screen. But they did a terrible job in, I forget what that's called when you're like, you're trying to get the edges of a green screen to be smooth. Maybe it's just smoothness.
Yeah.
But like you can so clearly see the green behind that.
Yeah, that's rough.
The transparency was really rough. I really didn't connect too much with like this party busing, dancing all around the city idea that she did with Newcastle.
Yeah.
To me, it came across like if you want to be a messy slut, come to Newcastle.
I love RuPaul's critique of like, no, I get the POV. You hate Newcastle.
And she was like, yeah,
Yeah, I do.
I do. What of
me.
it? Hannah's commercial, if we want to talk about unhinged commercials, making it about absolutely nothing to do with it, calling it Middle Perth.
Middle Perth.
You caught me shaving my toes was starting out the commercial saying, this is a ride. I hope you're ready because it's going to be insane from start to finish. She fights a swan, and then there are two guys playing in a bush. She goes to the beach to get her lips pumped, and then she explodes. Middle Perth.
Art.
It's not perfect, but it's hot.
Well, just everything about it. She's like, oh, maybe the whole swan thing. She fought a swan because she carries around a piece of bread with her, so of course it got agitated.
Of course.
It's just like, oh, and then she says the iconic. She has her beveragino.
A beveragino.
It's so good. I do love that it was Middle Perth. I thought that was actually
That is
quite
funny.
clever. Opening with, oh, you just caught me shaving my toes.
That was hilarious.
It was just, she really leaned into it as a comedy challenge, but it really worked.
Somehow it did. Yeah.
It was very the Katya's crisis control
Oh my God, you're
travel
right.
videos.
Yeah. It wasn't really the brief, but somehow it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was Jinx eating a sandwich for a dance challenge. Sometimes when you circumvent...
Peanut butter, peanut butter.
peanut butter. The pit crew. Sometimes when you like circumvent the challenge in such a roundabout way, you loop into this room where it just works somehow. And it's
Yeah.
like, you didn't do it at all. But I like that you did it.
You didn't do it, but you did that.
Exactly. You did something. All I want to say about Beverly's Cindy Irwin is I take an issue personally, and this is where I didn't connect with it, of making it about a different queen's branding. Party City, where you belong. I think she thought she would get like a quick, easy laugh. Like Rue would get it and be like, ooh, Drag Race deep cut. But like Rue, I don't think really ever connects with deep cuts unless you say something like Beast. And if your name is
Tea.
Joyous.
Clock that tea. Do you want to know a curse that I just thought of?
Yeah.
There's a curse in Australia where if you talk about piss, you get eliminated. Because et cetera, made her beverage piss, and then she went home. And then she had this extended bit about how they had... Was it a repellent? I don't even remember what it was. But
They wanted to pee on the guy who got stung by a jellyfish in the Party City commercial.
Yeah. She had that extended bit about peeing on him. So,
So what is this? Because she's from the same place, right? This was also Newcastle, right?
the fact that... Wait, is it really?
I can't remember. I think they're both from the same... Because that's why they both did Meter Maids, right?
Okay, well, that's crazy because if those two are about the same place, I have no idea what the truth is. Yeah. So what's the truth?
What is the tea? I mean, I'm guessing that it's obviously a party city. Like, it's a place you go to, like, go crazy. That's what it seems like. But pissing. And then also, didn't she have, like, a moment where she's like, I'm looking...
But
pissing. But isn't there, like, a moment where she, like, wants a sugar daddy, but she says she's a lesbian?
The writing was giving me kind of like the same energy as Heidi's stand-up when she kept changing
Oh.
characters.
Oh no. Yeah.
It made me nervous.
It made me uncomfy. The writing was giving I lost all hope today. You know? I want to talk about whatever this is as we move into the runway. What is that? Is this where Rue's camera is?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the like 8 feet between
There are like 4
the social
queens,
distancing.
but then like nobody else is.
No, they all just hate Beverly.
They just either it was okay, so you're on the bottom and we just want you to remember that, or like that's Rue's camera, but what a weird spot for it to be.
It's literally it's the winners grouped together in Beverly.
Yes.
It's the final. Isn't that the finalists?
Yeah.
It's the finalists and Beverly.
And Beverly.
They felt the devil in her, like Hormona did with Katy Perry, and they said, "Stay away from her.
Dark-sided people.
Stay
are
away
all
from that
around us."
dark-sided 21-year-old."
Rue asked the question. The anvil clunk of the season. Queen says Beverly since she has no wins. Spanky says Beverly for the same reason. Molly says Beverly for the same reason. Hannah says Beverly since she was the weakest. And Beverly says, in such a Scarlet Envy way, fuck all those bitches. And then says Queen because she stumbled. And it's like, well, who else was she going to pick? She doesn't think she's maternal. Of course she picked Queen. Of course. And then that whole thing in Untucked where Hannah's like, I just am trying to tell you why I think you're a fake bitch. I just want to tell you that you're fake and guarded.
No, listen.
No, listen, Linda. I need to tell you that you're fake. And Bev's like crying. She's like, but let me tell you why. Okay, well, I guess I won't say anything then. I'll just be quiet. You could be fake in your corner then. I'll set my Beveragino.
I'll sit with my Beveragino.
That was probably the most dramatic Untucked up until this point. And that's saying something because we had Minnie here for a long time.
Damn.
And that really
Ain't that
was
the
drama.
truth.
That was drama. But I don't even think Hannah was being malicious or mean. I think she was really trying to like get at Beverly and like to me it came across when there's someone so much younger than you and you see them struggling with something you've struggled with and you're like, I just want to help you find your way to this. And I think in a way that bolsters Spanky's story, she was very like, don't worry, you'll find your way. Understanding the truth that people can't be just shown the answer. They need to find it themselves. Where Hannah was like, I want to give you the answer right now. I want to tell you how to fix it. Where Spanky was like, no, this girlie's got to do it on her own. We can't help her.
For real. Spanky always knows what's up. She always knows what time it is.
Our winner of this challenge is Hanaconda. And
Deserved.
Very, very deserved. And our bottom two is Beverly and Queen, which again ties off their story. You do this sound, and a lot of people make this sound when I talk about this part of the season. People kept telling me this lip sync was manic, and I don't disagree. But we just watched Lolita Banana dry shave her head like
Yes,
2
no,
weeks
this
ago.
was just stressful because this was a performance that was meant to happen on like a full-size stage, happening
Right.
on the tiniest stage in the franchise.
It was like bumper cars.
They were, and like neither of them, the other thing is usually the loser yields and they don't take up as much space.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them were yielding.
No, they're like tumbles, flips, splits, craziness.
The point where they start getting like back and forth, like split, handstand with splits, like it was ridiculous.
And all of that energy for a Glamazon era song.
Okay, that's the thing. Crazy ass manic performance to the beginning by RuPaul. Do 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 do. Like upper mid tempo, like motivational. Like it was such a crazy choice. Everyone in the back just gagged. At the end, RuPaul being like, "Is everyone okay?
Are we all right?
Are we all right?
Is everyone safe?" It's funny you mentioned the smallness of the stage because I was going to bring it up. I think this was the episode where I realized how small the sound stage is. You can see the wall.
It was giving like granted, it was neither of their first times lip syncing, but it felt like, dang, the stage feels so much bigger when I watched it on TV.
Right.
Like they felt like they knew what they were going to do when they came time to lip sync, but they were picturing the lip sync stage they watch on TV, which is a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, it is a very small room. No, like normally you can't really see where the room ends. There's like a nice suspension of reality of like this stage could go on for a couple of years, but like you can legit see where the wall corners are in the back.
It's crazy.
And if a queen slid to the left, you'd see them pop out from the curtain. It was that small.
The workroom's on the other side of that wall.
Isn't that the case in France? Like, isn't the workroom right next to the judging booth, or the Untucked Lounge is right next to it? I could swear I remember one of those sound stages. It was either France or Down Under, where like there was some backstage photo leaked of like literally Untucked Lounge is here and the mirrors are here and the judge's booth was right there. Or maybe it's like in what's the one that Rita's on? Belgique? Maybe it was that one.
I like can't even like that. Okay, but also imagine the panic because like you actually would hear like do 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 like as they're like getting ready. That would actually be so scary.
Oh, the cover girl walk?
Okay, because also imagine on the flip side if you have someone like a Valentina where they're holding it up and like they're literally on the other side of the wall. RuPaul can literally just be like, "Come on, girls!"
Right?
The person half mug is like, "Oh."
They say on the U.S. ones that they're like they have to get carted from wherever the workroom is to wherever the main stage is. Like they're on different sound stages.
That's so crazy.
Because I feel like I remember one of the girls on one of the more recent seasons like dropping something while they were driving and they had to like turn around and go pick it back up. Anyway, the lip sync ends with Queen winning after all of this nonsense.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of what you're talking about. It's like, imagine getting full geesh and then you're on the go-kart and then your headpiece just like flies off. It's like at Disney when you take the tram and you lose your Mickey ears. But like, imagine like getting in some of these elaborate looks. Me and Pirates getting scalped. Yes. wig loose. Off. Wig loose. But oh my God, could you imagine?
No, I
You're in the go-kart, like, oh my God, my headpiece. And then it's just like disheveled on the floor.
It's shattered.
Your crystal chandelier headpiece.
Could you imagine? That would be devastating.
Wait, can someone go get that?
Wait, my shoe.
My alien. Candy with her alien look. That green alien just flew out of the cart. Gone with the wind.
Oh my God. That's hilarious as a concept. Episode 7, we have a drag family makeover. And I want to ask, because you were watching this in real time, I spoiled myself just to know how it all ended.
Yeah.
Is this
fair.
the 4 that you thought was going to be here when you started this season?
You know, I was blinded at the time. I really wanted Yuri to make it. I think in hindsight, it was clear she wasn't going to. But
I thought that too, though.
Yeah, when I was watching in real time, I thought Yuri for sure. I probably would have swapped Yuri with honestly Spanky, but now
really,
well, because in the moment watching it, especially because like I think the thing is watching the season as the full package. It's like, yes, it makes sense. I get it. I see it, but in the moment watching it and seeing Spanky in the bottom of the first episode, despite how amazing she was doing, I think you have that preconceived notion. So I'm blessed to watch the full picture again and really take her in all of her glory.
Did it feel even better this time around?
Even better. I love her so much, but I really, this time watching her from the beginning, she's such a hoot.
She really is. We have an actual family this time.
They weren't joking when they said drag family.
Did you like this? I love this concept.
I liked it. I thought it was really good. No, I thought it was fun. I mean, what a rare thing. Like, how do you even...
Right?
I'm like, did they have the idea and they casted for the idea? Did this gay be like, y'all, come make over my family? Like,
Right.
how did this happen? But it was a fun idea, and I think it created a good workroom dynamic as well. So maybe it had been a production choice to that point of like, well, if we do this, we have kind of an immediate workroom energy that we can go off of because they'll know each other, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if maybe it was drafted from concept first, because one of the boys from the prom challenge of Canada 2
Yes.
said that he was in his virtual class, or maybe it was the live class, whatever the situation was, and his teacher pulled him aside and said, hey, so Canada's Drag Race is looking for people to join that are of your age. Do you think you'd want to do it? And like the kid was scouted via his teacher, who was probably scouted by a producer, like maybe just putting it in the minds of teachers around the area, like, hey, if you have anybody that wants to do this, let us know and we can chat with them. So like I wondered, maybe in this situation there was someone like going around to the gay clubs one night and asking like, hey, if anyone wants to bring their family on, if you have an accepting an open family, there's going to be casting for a big TV show.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that makes sense. I could see that.
I do wonder, like, oftentimes how they get some of these people to come on. Like, the super fans in 12 makes sense. They probably had some type of, like, fan club audition or something.
Yeah, they easy to find.
Easy.
But something like this is so specific.
Niche.
Having the gay anchor and then having, like, the relatives. Yeah, very fascinating, but...
Yeah. They rock, paper, scissors for their choices. What the hell?
So random.
Hannah won the last challenge. Why not just let her have the power?
I know. They're like, no, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors. And also, like, it wasn't like, okay, you got first place, you got second place, you got third place. It was like, okay, rock, paper, scissors for who picks. Okay, rock, paper, scissors again. Who picks next?
Yeah.
It was so weird. Because Hannah kind of ended up getting a little bit fucked over.
She really liked her guy, she said, but yeah, I would agree with that.
Because she knew who she wanted to pick, and she had just won the last challenge.
Right.
And she didn't get to pick him, and then she didn't get to pick second. She ended up having to pick third. But also, it's different because, like, I'll just say it, there's a difference because 1 and 2 were younger guys.
Yeah.
3 and 4 were the older guys. And it's like, that is different. You're working on older skin. It's an older body. You're getting in drag. Like, also, they just have a different relationship with everything. Like, I truly think 9 times out of 10, it is a disadvantage to have someone that is 20 to 30 years older than your first choice.
Yeah.
So I did feel kind of bad for her because, yeah, she had her first choice and she got her third choice.
Which is definitely a bummer for her, because I mean, like, I think they all did really good, and this is kind of a rough point in the season. They all did well.
Well, okay,
Molly.
That's the other thing is, like, it sucks. I hate when this happens in I almost said in a reunion.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when this happens in a makeover. When, no offense, one of the pretty people get a bad makeover. Sorry, Molly, but like. And to be fair, yes, he's a little more, like, he's gay, but he is a little more, like, masculine, and, like, he's kind of like Detox's makeover on 5. Oh, my God. But still, they were, like, they had a really young, angular, fresh face that a really, really adept makeup artist probably could have turned out. Honestly, I don't know.
I do want to talk about Keeland, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He had such, like you said, such a nice face. He was so opinionated on what he wanted and what he wanted that look to be.
Yes.
And Molly was like, we're not doing that.
Right.
That's not
She's like,
happening.
well, that's great. I already know exactly what we're going to do because I planned this before we got here.
Right. And that's what's tough about the pre-made stuff. And Naomi talked about this on Race Chaser, is like, back in the day, they used to have to make something for their makeovers.
Yeah.
Now they just bring in stuff, and it's super inflexible, because what if your makeover does not vibe with that style? And, part of me is like, a makeover challenge should be a stamp of you, but also should be representative of them.
Well, yeah, because it's like, and a queen's like drag daughter is like, yes, it is her daughter, but it's still her as well. Like, it's whatever that person wants.
Yeah. I want to talk about a couple of things. Since we're talking about Keeland right now, she wanted to be really pussy slay, and Molly turned her into Ava Hanger.
Avant-garde.
Avant-garde.
She's in the Ava hangar.
She's in it.
That plane's ready to take off.
Norvenia does this video message, and she says, "Cover girl, don't cover boy." Quoting St. Jolie.
Was she clocking some of the people in the room?
She was clocking off a hanger.
It's the way. I feel like it's the way the younger ones got crazy beats.
Yeah.
Because she got sent to the Ava hangar. And then Queen's just got like a light beat. She got a Courtney Act beat.
But she looked puss.
She did. She was feeling puss.
You know who else was puss?
Who?
This dad in the boobies and the wig and the black t-shirt.
My God. Okay, that's the other kind of hilarious part of like, I think they probably feel more comfortable because they're with family.
Yeah.
But like, as much as sometimes it's annoying, like, I do think it's sometimes tee-hee silly of like these straight dudes like getting in the woman of it all and being like, hey.
Boobies.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious, especially in the huge, like that Trixie wig, like that giant, like, blonde, like Lady Bunny, Dolly Parton wig. It's so funny to me.
You were shading Spanky earlier and saying that drag is about men who have never touched a woman, but you'd never know that any of these men had ever touched women by the way they presented them.
They
get into the boobs and they're like, ooh.
You'd think they've never touched a human body before, and they were like aliens, like Men in Black, like taking over like a human body and like inhabiting it to do crime. That's the other great like thing about like some of the more like men in drag, like for these makeovers, is when they have to walk and they have to turn and serve, and it's like the shoulders move with the hips, move with the feet, like, oh my God, you know those, what are those called in Mario? The long gray things that are like flat, and they like, and then
thwomps.
Like, thwomps, the walking like a thwomp.
All you had to do was do the sound, and I got it.
Walking like a
thwompy.
thwomp, that thwomp walk.
You better thwomp that walk.
Thwompina,
Thwompiana.
It's giving thwompus.
It's giving thwomp. It's giving The theme is opposites attract for the runway.
We go together because opposites.
That was All Stars 1, right?
Yes.
That was the first song, I think.
BC.
BC. But before Bendela Christ. She's our
BC Bendela Christ.
What did you think about Queen and her makeover sister?
Sister.
She really dipped into the creativity for her name.
Such a dude.
Such a dude.
Like, she was quite puss, but she was such a puss dude.
Yeah.
Dude puss.
I enjoy the shoes a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Those are cute little booties. But those chaps, I don't know. It did it for me.
What do you think of the giant turban?
It was a little, let me read you a fortune. Let me pull a card. You got the Hierophant. There you
Not
go.
The tower reversed. Yeah.
And also Ace of Cups. What does it all mean? I'll share you your fate for merely $5.
You pulled the Queen of Kongs.
Yes. I thought, I mean, it was the best one of everybody. And I did like the presentation. It was very clean. And I gravitate towards that.
That's fair. No, it was a good presentation.
Yeah. What'd you think about Molly and Candy?
Well,
yeah. I forget. I just watched this and I already forgot.
I like Molly's outfit.
Is this a breastplate? Or is this like just nude fabric for some reason?
It looks like she got a really bad sunburn in a tank top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She looks like the guy in Lilo and Stitch with the ice cream.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I think that was a breastplate I think she had knocker. No, it was because, Molly's all about the tits.
Totally.
I like Molly's look,
Mm-hmm.
and is very much doing it. But the thing is, even if Molly was in the same look in yellow and green, I wouldn't like it. Because this is cute. It's giving me the lovely series of furniture from Animal Crossing, the pink and red. And, like, these shoes with the little, like, lacy socks.
Yeah.
But then, like, Avant-Garde is giving Banana Lady.
Bananas.
Banana. No, literally. She also, like, just looks crazy. Like, because Minnie...
Minnie.
Not Minnie Poppins. Molly is in, like, almost more of, like, a poodle wig.
Yeah.
And then Ava, what is her actual name?
Let's just
Candy.
Go with Candy. But Ava works. It's avant-garde.
Ava's in this crazy, like, I don't even know what this wig is giving. Like, witch. It's giving banana witch.
Do you remember those little like rat tail things you could add to your hair that were really popular in like the mid 2000s?
Stop.
All the divas were putting those on. They were just like plopping them on their heads. It was a pop it on, but it just was like rat hair. It was that. It's crazy. And then what is the waistband on this?
Okay.
At least on Molly Minnie Poppins, it's pointing up towards the boob, so it gives it some nice shape. It's just a straight line.
Okay, final answer. You know how in Cinderella they turn like a horse, or sorry, like a mouse into like a horse, pull like whatever pumpkin to a carriage. A witch turned a banana into one of her henchmen who needs to keep eyes for her at the 60s prom. And so she's a chaperone. And so she's a little enchanted banana, keeping eyes for the witch at the prom.
And that's her drag name is Chaperone.
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 That's crazy. Wow, clock that.
Chaperone. Also the glitter lip was kind of evil.
Don't do the glitter lip. Don't do the glitter lip.
Unless you're Jessica Wilde, don't do a glitter lip.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Unless you're Jessica Wilde, don't do a glitter lip. What did you think about Spanky and Flash Jackson? Which Spanky went with Flash because one time she got arrested for flashing her bum.
Just the ones?
That's all she revealed. I can't imagine she'd want to make that a habit of flashing her bum and then airing that out on TV.
I love that even she herself acknowledged that her makeover looked rough.
She knew. She knew what time it was.
She put the lace, literally, she's like, where's your actual hairline start? Okay, let me put the lace right there. Like the way that the forehead was as high as it could be. And then there's like a distinct lighter line of lace, like lighter than that person's skin tone. And then the wig. And then, okay. And then the little, like, sure, Italian outfit says pizza slut. And then she says, so what am I? I'm a pineapple holding a pizza. So she's pineapple on pizza, aka she had this Big Bird dress. And then she put green tulle in her hair and carried pizza.
A felt pizza.
A felt pizza. Was like, see, we're pizza and the pizza chef. I love Spanky Jackson and I love everything she stands for. And to me, it's crazy that she was not on the bottom.
Yeah. It's because they love her. It's that joy that she has when she's on stage.
Drag is joy. This is the joy of drag right here.
And a felt pizza is drag. Like, Spanky is the draggiest drag queen we have ever had as a winner on this show, and I will stand by that. Probably, like, next to Bob. Like, Bob does, like, did at the time. Obviously, Bob's, like, very high budget now. But, like, Bob did, like, draggy drag back then. That Amazon bodysuit and just selling it, like, this is what I wore. So, eat it. Like, Spanky coming out in this Big Bird dress with the tulle on it and the felt pizza and said, I'm pizza.
I'm pineapple on pizza with this Italian pizza slut.
Get into it, bitch. I'm so here for it.
It is so, like, what I like. I can... How do I say this?
Bar queen.
Well, yeah. Well, yes. So, I'll just say from experience, when my roommate did drag, it was very much like, I can't afford a new outfit, but I can afford some trims to edit an existing outfit. Yes. So it's like, I can't buy the new dress, but I can buy the trim to put on the dress. I can buy the felt to make the pizza.
Yeah.
Like, it's so that tea, and I love it. So I get what you mean.
It's so good. It's so camp. It's incredible. And then Hannah and Helligator. I feel like if you were to say this like in an Australian accent, like Helligator, that's more like Cockney British. Please don't clock me, all of our listeners. But like I feel like maybe Rue didn't quite get the accent of what it was, and so Hannah just rolled with it like, yeah, Helly.
Well, it's like, Helly spelled like Betty is in Betty Davis, where it's like Bet.
I got like alligator. Like if you were to say it in Aussie accent.
But why is her name just Allie?
Well, I guess that is a fair point because she has Hanaconda. But then also, why is she a gator? Why wouldn't she be like another snake? Like Viper.
Viper.
Hold on, that was a terrible R roll. Viper. Why not that?
Boa constrictor.
Ooh, wait. I'm into that. I'm totally into that. Bitch on arrival constrictor.
Bitch on arrival constrict her. That's crazy.
She was basing this on medieval fashion, and I don't understand what that was for.
But then also like it's like medieval by way of like Wicked, Wizard of Oz. Like it's the challenge we just saw on All Stars. the Wicked Witch frenemies.
It was totally that.
Because we had this like weird like Glinda in a bodysuit, and then we had like Dark Witch, like 90s fantasy Dark Witch. That's the other thing too, is it felt like a witch and like a good witch, a bad witch and a good witch from two different fantasy tales.
Totally.
Because the good witch was very like retro, like pink, pretty, like cupcake princess. And then Hannah was like very like 80s, 90s, like elvish, like dark queen.
Yeah.
So strange.
It was a strange makeover.
Also, like, distinctly not Hannah's aesthetic that at least I'm used to.
Right.
So that was even weirder to me. Whereas, like, some of the other ones where even if it's not the best look, it was like, well, at least it feels like them. But like, I was like, this doesn't even seem like Hannah to me.
She was leaning in on the hobbitry at this point of the season, but I just don't know if this look.
She was on a journey to Middle Perth.
She was. I want to cycle back to Minnie and Ava really quick because Rue asked Candy if at any point she looked around the room and thought she had made a mistake. I think Rue hated this look so bad that she felt bad for this girl that got brought on her show. Like, I can't believe that my girl did this to you. Don't worry, I'm going to send her home for this.
You're like, I'm so sorry, Diva.
There will be checks sent to you.
You're not the only one who feels this way. Don't worry.
Well, and also, like, you know that Rue is watching all the time with what's happening in those rooms. And I imagine that the moment that Molly started being like, oh, you just look so bad, I hate this. You know that Rue was like, hold on, wait, let me go watch the tapes. Oh, she thinks she looks bad? I'm going to remind her how bad she looks on the runway.
Well, also it is a bummer because it's like, well, you're not really framing their experience great.
Right, you're going to make her feel even worse that you think she looks busted. So she's going to look in the mirror and be like, I'm ugly as fuck. But I got to go present like I'm pretty.
Now I have to turn it. Shit.
I got to turn it and burn it, but we both know I look bad.
But you already burned it.
Our winner is Queen. This is her only win. And it's late in the game. Oh, no. She won girl group. Sorry.
I was like, what the
I'm a liar face. This is the only solo win.
Fair.
And it's late.
So fair. Yeah, and such a random challenge to win. Although, to be fair, she was the only one. I guess she was kind of the best choice.
It, in a weird way, ties off her story of like the last couple episodes she's been accused of not being maternal, and then here she is literally carrying her daughter on the runway.
No, for real. Okay, and also cute because the only other person that carried their makeover on the runway was Raven, who also won.
Oh, right. That was so long ago.
So, if you want to win a makeover challenge, pick up that bitch and carry her.
Pick up that bitch. But not like Mimi, I'm first.
No.
Very different. Reminiscing earlier today, I was thinking about when we started this like a year and a half ago, that like very first All Stars 3 podcast, me balancing that mic stand with a mic that did not belong on it in between this little tray for us.
It's so crazy because in my head, I'm like, oh, we've just been doing this for a couple months.
Yeah, right?
It's very new.
Very new for Lana.
This is a very new silhouette. We've never done this before.
I've never done a podcast before. Our bottom two is Molly and Hannah. And I feel like this like felt bad because Hannah wasn't that bad.
Okay.
She wasn't great, but she wasn't that bad.
Do you know what my opinion is? Looking at the season as a whole.
Right.
I feel like this was the notch to even her out with Spanky. And Queen, to be fair. Because Queen is also still a contender at this point, getting her second win. But I think especially Hannah did feel a little bit too ahead of Spanky at this point. I think a lot of people thought Hannah was going to win. Mm-hmm. So I think this placement did kind of level her out with the competition.
I can see that. It sets them at an even playing field. So then going in, it's like, is it going to be Hannah or could it be Spanky?
Yeah,
totally. I can see that. The song is Heartbreak in the City by Steps and Michelle Visage. And when it ended, my favorite thing was Hannah going, oh, beautiful song, Michelle. Loved it. It was so good.
Hilarious. Honestly, Michelle's parts were the best parts of that song. She'd shoot that. Cry, when I cry.
Do you think they got it royalty free? That she was like, you know what? You can just have it.
Where's the song from the Bodyguard soundtrack?
Oh, right.
Play it. Let us hear it.
Let's hear it. The duo team from earlier is broken up. They were the two small girls in a big sized world.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. A lot of the duos have had to lip sync against each other this season, right? I feel like we had another duo lip sync earlier.
Probably. Well, also, Molly just seems to have the curse of only lip syncing against people she's close to.
Mm-hmm. Hannah's safe. Molly is out and leaves by saying, "Oh no!
Oh no!" She had a really strong run, though.
She did. This, I think, was like a good exit for her. I mean, like, this was such a strong group that who was going to go home? It could have been any of them, and I think it would have been hard production-wise.
Right.
Like, they were all just so good by this point.
I wonder if she heard the finale song and was like, maybe it wasn't the worst thing.
So let's talk about that. We got episode 8, the grand finale. We have been getting a lot of top 4 seasons, and this kind of stands out as an odd one because it's a top 3.
Very old school, right?
Yeah. And I wonder sometimes why like they choose this season is going to get a top 3. This one's a top 4. It's always interesting.
Right? Or do they like add in the moment? Mm-hmm. Like, what is the tea?
Before we get into anything deep into this challenge.
How deep?
As deep as you want. I want to talk about this.
This woman?
This is Puss. Spanky in Hannah's wig, in the bra, this nude bra, standing, de-dragging, and just mugging for the camera in the cold open. Like, yes, I am a woman.
She is, though. I am her. Like, no, but she is woman. You don't understand.
I do understand. I just finished the season. I get it.
Like that mother, sister, father, brother. Like, she is that. No, she really.
She's it. Spanky is so draggy, and I love her. I understand the hype now.
It's both draggy and gaggy.
Gooped and gaped.
Sister, I'm gaped.
they have to write and record lyrics for Who Is She? And they do their classic RuPaul lunches, but it's not Tic Tacs. They have some other kind of snack, and Spanky takes, I think, the whole bowl. While they're doing they're doing their convos, specifically when Queen is doing her convo, the girlies are giving makeovers to the statuettes. And I saved this photo of Hannah's where she put her big ass wig on that little statue.
The tiny little baby.
Spanky's statue makeover. It's a freaking jump scare.
Looks evil.
Demonic. And Hannah's like, what did you do to
What
that?
have y'all been up to, literally?
And Queen just comes back to find this, what is that, like a tagging, this graffiti that has been done to these angels.
It's like walking into a murder scene.
You know, have you seen the gif of that guy? I think it's like college. What is it? What is the college one? Community, I think is what it is. It's the guy who's like walking in with the pizzas and the building's on fire. Have you seen that gif?
No.
I'll find it later. The person whose choreography, or the person who's responsible for choreography, I'm losing my brain, is none other than Electroshock. They came in and I was like, who's this man?
Love me some Electroshock.
And you know that Electra was pushing them because they were sweating bullets. And you know that Rue keeps that stage cold. I'm sure that even on the other side of the globe, Rue is like 65 degrees in here at all times. Unless they don't do it in down under. But those girls were sweating.
It's also so hot there.
That's true. There's a lot of humidity.
As a place, they're so close to the sun.
The song is Who Is She? Do you live for this song? I'll take the silence and the deep sigh as a no.
It's interesting because it's like, well, I thought I didn't mind it, but hearing them trying to do verses to it was like, oh, maybe I don't like this song as much as I did.
Right.
Because this has been a Runway song before.
Yeah.
And I thought it wasn't bad, but this time, like, none of the verses clicked. Probably just because in this application it wasn't working. But I just was like, yeah, it was a no for me in this moment.
Yeah. Same for me. I mean, I enjoyed Hannah's line, "Welcome to the snake pit," but that's all I remembered. And then, obviously, Spanky saying it's Mother Tuckin' Spanky is iconic, but I don't remember anything else.
I thought also Hannah felt like a weird opener.
Should have maybe been Queen.
She should have been, because it was a opening verse, a chorus, and then two verses together. I feel like Hannah should have been in one of the grouped ones, and one of the other two should have opened.
Yeah.
Because Hannah felt like a weird energy to open it. And then also, I feel like Spanky should have just sang the whole thing.
I feel that.
Her sung part was like the highlight for me.
Spanky could have opened, and that would have set it off on a really good note.
Honestly, that would have been cool if Spanky opened it, sung it, and then we had the other two verses. I don't know.
What did you think about the finale runway? We only got the top 3. Again.
Bummer.
We've been getting top 4s, and we've been getting all the return girls, and we didn't get any of them.
Especially because Beverly was like, my finale gown was very expensive. I was like, well, girl, let's see it. I want to see it.
I would have loved to have seen what Minnie did. I want to know what Pamara did. And why didn't they keep any of those girlies there? They said, no, we don't have the budget. Go home.
Right? We can't afford the accommodations.
We are flying in Kita, so y'all got to go home.
Well, it's tricky because of the 3, one of them is haunted by subpar looks. So that's immediately,
Who are you talking about? Who are you referring to?
Why don't we ask the audience now? I mean, obviously she had the opportunity, father spanks.
Right.
She had the opportunity
To.
to do what needed to be done.
Did she?
It was giving something. But the other two definitely were giving grander.
She was going for a Marilyn vibe. At least the hair was combed.
She was giving me when the mother of the bride or the mother of the groom wears like a white dress.
Right.
And like it's a huge scandal. That's the dress. It's that dress with that stole.
It was a very important stole.
She's also giving me like her husband is like one of the top like donors and they're at like a gala. Like, I don't know.
What does her husband do if she's wearing this kind of dress? Construction.
Oh, I was gonna say reconstruction.
Okay. Refabrication, upholstery.
Prosthetic legs.
Oh, okay. What am I like being totally ridiculous here by eagle-eyeing that the skirt was like a really weird length underneath the sheer?
No, I mean it is the finale.
Yeah, it just caught my eye. I kept seeing it when she was walking, and I kept thinking it was like the solid snake sound. I'm like, whoop, hello.
It was just one of those things where I was like, at this point, the dolls are the dolls, and I know you're not the runway diva, so
That's true.
I'm gonna just let this one slide.
We let so many other things slide.
I know the way other things are unforgivable, but because it's Spanky Jackson, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Your runways are shit because I love you.
Right. I loved Hannah's gown, and I think that this was just delicious in its shape. And I mean, Queen was a parade float. This is how you do a finale.
Theirs were both so grand and like costumey in a positive way. Both kind of like a scene within the outfit, and I love that.
I want to call attention to Untucked for this very last time, where Hannah is sipping a martini through a straw because the dress is so big that none of them can get their beverages, so they have to just sip them through the straws. Which is so wild to me, but I have been there before. I've 100% been there before. Where you're like corseted and gowned and you're like, ugh, I can't get that.
I can't reach my
I
beveragino.
can't reach it.
Oh, my beveragino.
The final lip sync is Wow by Kylie Minogue. 3 Kylie songs this season.
They loved their Kylie. They said, listen, we need to catch up because US ain't representing her enough.
Can we please do this on Canada and like do 3 Carly songs in one season?
Right.
Like,
the
come
Carly
on.
Ball.
Come on. They all have to lip sync separately, which I did really like that, the All-Star 6 format. And I've actually never heard this song before. Wow. I really liked it.
I thought it was cute. Yeah, definitely not one of the most like popular songs of hers, but still a fun one.
What I gravitated towards was Spanky's unseriousness in the song.
Yes.
I think she knew I got Rue's attention. I can do whatever. And I'm just going to have fun with it. And if she likes it, then she likes it. And that was the energy.
Well, and also, you know, last season, what is her name? It is
Ketamine.
I almost said Keita Minaj. I kept wanting to say Keita Minaj, and I was like, Keita Minaj, no. Keita Minaj, no. Ketamine also, for physical, she did the funny route.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So kind of a similar idea of like, well, I'm going to just go for it. I'm going to be funny.
What did you think about her step down look, Keita? It reminded me of like those like carousel horses that are outside a grocery store, like outside of Ralph's.
Yeah.
And you like put a quarter in, and it is like do 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 as it goes up and down.
It was like a carousel horse meets like a saloon girl in space
With
like,
wings.
With wings, like yeah. I don't love the like heavy like kind of lame metallic vibe of it all.
You don't live for that?
Oh, and then also, yeah, the like
You don't live for
the
the draping?
no, the like the rainbow chrome.
The
Um,
Chromatica shit. You hate Chromatica shit.
I don't like. I really don't like rainbow chrome. Catch that
Drag
tea.
Rainbow Chrome.
Dra- Drag name rainbow chrome. Um, I don't know. It just feels very of the time. Although this
Totally.
is the time it was of. So you know what?
That was such a
Clock that.
Katrina from Animal Crossing. This is of the time that it is of. Times
This is,
that are of the time are just times that are of that
that
time.
thing is very of the times, but this we are in the times that it is of.
This is the fortune you've been given. I think Spanky was such a great winner because Drag Race has done for many years this idea like Ratatouille, everyone can cook, everyone can do drag. Like, that's been the vibe that Drag Race has been going for, I feel like, since I would say like UK1
Yeah.
was like kind of around the time where they started really leaning in on that
Yeah.
and bringing in contestants that were maybe outside of the normal box and expanding out into the international seasons of bringing in maybe unconventional queens and trying their best to reward them and hold space for them where they could.
Yeah.
And the international seasons up until this point, like, think Charity, Ava, I mean, Norma to some extent, a couple of the queens that were here, like Spanky, Yuri. Like, WoW tried really hard in a lot of these seasons to bring in this idea that anybody can do it. And I think Spanky's the most successful at it because in the areas where she's weak, she just presents such confidence and strength. And that
Yeah.
I think is like the essence of drag.
Totally.
Is like you are your biggest fan, even if you know you don't look great, you still go out and you act as if you are the best one in the room. And Spanky just has this confident energy that doesn't come off arrogant. It's just like so bright and light and airy. And that connects in a beautiful way.
No, totally. It's like in season 3. Oh, well, we don't talk about her redacted Frostula's makeover partner. But a very similar idea of like the natural it factor, regardless of how expensive or polished their looks are.
Totally.
And even with Spanky, it's funny because she's an example too of like, it's not like the concept was there and the look wasn't there. Like her aesthetic, her type of drag is not Drag Race friendly.
No.
But it still worked because she herself as an entertainer is extremely Drag Race friendly.
Totally. Yeah. I know a lot of people were probably rooting for Hannah at this time. I
Yeah.
definitely was very team Hannah. But like Spanky just has that it thing that you don't find in a lot of places. What is this cursed image that you're showing me?
Merry Christmas.
Is this Spanky Jackson?
This is Spanky Jackson.
I'm perceiving a video of Spanky in what appears to be like a schoolyard in maybe like a felt Christmas tree garment. It is cut as a tree. There is a gold star on top. There are singular unlined ornaments, we'll call them, in the some puckered, distressed cuts. And she's just femininely walking in clear heels,
Bare-legged.
bare-legged through different areas. That is fabulous.
I took
That's
it away from
absolutely
you just
incredible.
before it got better.
Oh my god. And now Spanky is spanking a tree and sitting on a statue in overcast weather, crossing a street, and also the back is completely open so you can see the visible thong.
Spanky is Flash Jackson.
This is when she got arrested for flashing her bum at this place. Someone was like, we got to arrest this Christmas tree that's walking bare ass around Palm I almost said Palmdale, but that's not right.
Not Palmdale. Palmerston North?
Palmerston North.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And even Rue says that, I think, during their luncheon.
Iconic.
Iconic.
It's my favorite Spanky moment.
It's so good. All right, before we finish this up, controversial opinions about this season.
Hannah should have never been in the bottom.
Would you have put Spanky there?
Sadly.
Yeah. You
With
didn't like
her.
the pizza slut?
No, I love the pizza slut. Don't get it twisted.
My only controversial opinion is we were robbed of the eliminated queens showing off their finale garments.
Okay, that part, because I feel like, granted, we didn't always do that, but it's one of the things where we need to always do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They've
nowadays.
been doing it for years. On the international seasons that don't get a true reunion, they've been bringing them back all the time.
T.
I don't remember if they brought them back last year in Down Under 1. I don't recall if I remember seeing any of them. Maybe they just don't do that down
I don't
under.
think so. They're like, the stage is too small. We can't hold them all.
Or maybe it's something with like TV. Maybe when they're eliminated, they got to go home. Like they can't just keep them there extended for 2 weeks. I mean, hell, I'm thinking like even in Holland, they brought everybody back. In Holland 1.
I mean, I just think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because they might not be opening themselves up to the same opportunities.
Right.
I feel like let them showcase as much of their package as they can.
Yeah. So, if there's a global all-stars, a Down Under versus the World, or a Down Under all-stars, who would you want to see from this cast?
I would say, I mean, we've already seen Hanaconda, but I'm like here to see Hanaconda again.
Right.
I think, you know, Yuri had Dragula, so
Yeah.
we've already gotten what we needed to get.
I don't think she
from
would ever
her.
come back to Drag Race.
I think Minnie Cooper would bring devil shenanigans, which would be hilarious.
Devils are all around us.
The devil is in the room with
devil
us,
is
but
ever
it's
present.
also outside. It's next door. It's at the Starbucks down the road. I mean, like, dead ass realistically, the other two, that's the other thing, is the other two in this top 3 have already been on All Stars, because Hannah's been on Versus the World, and Queen Kong's been on Global All Stars. Right. I would like to see them both be on another different season, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I think they're the ones, because, I mean, everyone was great, but they're the ones that, like, I'd be most excited to see compete again.
I would love to see Hannah again, and I would love to see Queen.
Yeah.
I think they're both great. I think, like, of everyone else that's here, maybe I would love to see, like, Beverly.
I mean, it would be cool to see a grown, slightly more, like, mature together Beverly. Because, I mean, even now she'd be, what, 23, 24, 25. That's very different than 21.
I would like to see a lot of those girlies that were sort of, like, the kind of agitators of their groups. Like Beverly, like an Abby OMG. You know, these, like, younger queens. Maybe Scarlett... no, not Adams. That's the bad one. Scarlett Harlot. You know, like those types of girlies who are like getting the room a little worked up.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them all in some type of Versus the World, but they're a little more grown, they're a little more mature, or maybe they're the same divas they were back then and they all just activate each other triply.
Could you imagine the chaos of the room?
Yeah, I could. And I would love that.
Every lip sync they
fight.
I was gonna say every lip sync they bring Beverly on as a hazard, so she can just like run into them and like do splits and stuff around them. Like she's like a.
This week it's a 3-person lip sync with Beverly Kills.
It's like when you have like a main boss, but there's the sub boss. Where it's like they have like 50% health, but like you can also take them out independently, but they're like also fighting you. She's like the sub boss.
When Barbossa in Kingdom Hearts 2 summons the pirates.
Yeah, it's giving Leon and Yuffie.
Yes! Oh my god, yeah. Totally. Yeah, I could see that. But I do agree. I think Hannah would be the one I would want to see, even though she's already done Versus the World.
Yeah.
I feel like Hannah's got that it thing.
Yeah, no, it for sure.
So next week, we're talking about, finally, Philippines won.
Oh My God.
Are you ready?
Where the shoes? The shoes.
The
Where the
shoes.
flowers?
Where are the flowers?
There's so many things that happen in the first bunch of episodes. You get the shoes, and you get where are the flowers?
I'm so nervous.
There's so much. I think I'm gonna clock it right away. You're gonna love Turing.
Okay.
You're gonna love Marina Summers.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like all of them. Also, something to think about. There's Untucked for this season.
Right. I've been told this is required watching.
It actually is because the drama does overlap.
Really?
The storylines do develop and play into each other. There's beef. There's feuds.
I wonder why.
Minty Fresh.
Is that a queen's name?
Minty Fresh.
Ain't no way.
Brigading and Minty Fresh get in a fight, episode 1.
I can't wait. I wonder why Philippines got an Untucked, because up until now, UK has one tied into the episode. Canada has one baked into the episode. Down Under had like 4 minutes of an Untucked, and that was it. France had the same, like, France was like 2 minutes of Untucked every day. España had an entire, like, 10-minute segment baked in each episode, but not like a full separate thing.
It just must have been production's choice. They must have known it would be a kiki. Unless the first episode, because the first episode's Untucked is one of the best.
Maybe like so much happened that they just keep the footage and we'll pitch this to WoW and see if they like it.
We'll see what happens, yeah.
Yeah, it could have happened. Because like as far as I know, I don't think any other international season has one. Like Thailand 3 didn't get one. I don't think Germany or Belgique have it. I don't think Sverige has one, and I don't think Mexico does.
Yeah, but it's worth watching too. That's the other thing, is it's good. It's sometimes better than US.
I believe that. The US girls are so restrained.
Yeah.
I'm ready. People have hyped up this season. So like I'm going to go in with lower expectations so I don't be like, ooh, it's going to be so good.
I mean, yeah, it's still very much the first, but
Right.
It's just like, it's just enjoyable how they are. They're fun. The judges are fun. The queens are fun. It's all just so good.
And Jiggly's on this, isn't she?
Yes. Oh.
So it'll be interesting because in this era that we're in, Jiggly is past. So it's like a little time capsule watching it all over again.
Totally. It'll be fun to celebrate her as well.
Yeah. This has been fun talking about Down Under 2.
Yes. I mean, what an iconic season.
Spanky Jackson. And now I understand. People have said we got to talk about a thing called Spanky Jackson for years.
Can we talk about Spanky?
And I didn't know.
And now we said it.
Okay. Spanky Jackson, Carmen Farala, Envy Peru as like international winners. I think Spanky's got to go on that list.
She's in the Hall of Fame for sure. Honorary inductee.
100%. Like I'm obsessed already.
No. I mean, if you pick one from every country, she's the Down Under rep.
Yeah. I'm excited for 3 when that eventually happens.
Yeah.
Because I heard it's a mess.
It's interesting.
I've been told it's like a mess. And so like the messy part of me is like, I can't wait to perceive that.
I smacked the laptop at the end of the recording.
I thought your intrusive thought was like, I'm going to close it.
Could you imagine? You're like, well, this has been fun. Psh. No, I was terrified that after this, at the end of the episode, I smack the laptop and we lose.
All of it?
We lose it all. We have to take it again.
My worst fear is that like it'll all get deleted or something. And I'm like, Jess, we have to do it all over one more time.
Or like we lost the whole season.
It's all gone.
Because we take this years in advance.
Yeah.
I lost everything back to All Stars 4.
We got to talk about Gia all over again.
We have to go pre-pandemic.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Well, thank you all so much for listening and tuning in for Drag Race Down Under for this 2-parter. We'll chat with you next week for Drag Race Philippines. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can. And that is all that you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.